Welcome to the last episode of Film Pro, which stands for film production, and today we will cover 5 topics, so let's get on it. Special effects. Sometimes it's impractical, or physically impossible, to get the shot you want. Maybe the scene takes place on an imaginary planet, maybe the film is about a magical creature, maybe the story requires action that would be too dangerous to film in real life. That's when filmmakers turn to special effects and special effects makeup. If film is an illusion, special effects are simply one more way to achieve or enhance that illusion. We think of special effects as a recent development, but it's actually been around since the earliest days of cinema. Beginning with the trick films of George Méliès, filmmakers have been using things like double exposure, metal painting, tinting, and creative cuts to create magic on screen. And they're still at it. Rather than draw attention to themselves, these effects are meant to go undetected by the audience. Fact: the vast majority of mainstream Hollywood movies of the 21st century include at least one shot that has been altered by special effects technology. Mechanical effects are special effects created on set. These include physical character creation, puppetry, animatronics and more. Pyrotechnics, like fires and explosion, also falls under this category, along with wind, rain, mist, snow, and smoke. Optical effects are created in the camera as the film is being shot using optical instruments. A lot of these techniques require a lot of extra stuff, skills, and time, and all of these effects are easier by computers nowadays. Optical printing involves a combination of the camera, projector, and a special printer. Optical effects can also include scale models, mini-ors, and forced perspective props and sets. Rotoscoping is an optical effects that involves hand tracing the subject of a shot, frame by frame, so it can be animated or so. Keyframing lets animators draw a character or object once, and then set points, or keyframes to indicate how the image should move over a given amount of time. Artists who specialized in special effects makeup are trained in the same skills as traditional hair and makeup artists, and then develop more skills over time. Can learn more skills and experience, but don't actually need it. But if you can go, or want to, you can. It will be worth your time if you are starting out. If already experienced, then you don't need to go there. A movie, as you know, is a sequence of shots. The shots themselves may be beautiful or strange, kinetic or still, bright or dark. They might carry some meaning, but the real power of narrative cinema comes when you put those shots together. Cut together, these shots can create whole new levels of meaning and evoke emotions in ways only cinema can. And the person whose job it is to make those cuts, to discover that emotional and narrative alchemy, is the editor. Editors must be part technician, part craftsperson, and part creative artist. They are responsible for understanding the technology of post-production, from editing software to integrating sound design, music, and special effects. They also need to have a deep understanding of film grammar, gut instinct for characters, and a powerful sense of timing. Among their duties, editors must be able to sort through hours and hours of raw footage to find the story. They must train their visual memories to remember tiny difference between takes and shots, and imagine how they might be cut together. Editors must also have the taste to recognize when the story isn't working, and offer some solution. When you edit digitally using a computer software, that process is called nonlinear editing. It's also called non-destructive editing. The editor's job is big, so I am not going to explain it. Limited time. Lot of topics, but you can check out where the info is from. The link is in the description. By the way, one of the most powerful effects of the editor's work is the ability to shift a film's perspective. Who the film cuts to, at what movement, and how long it remains on a character and their experience. The best editors collaborate very closely with the directors and bring out the best in their work. Each cut needs to advance the story, not bog it down. These days, getting an audience is more important than ever, with hundreds of films, TV series, and online videos competing for our attention. Filmmakers and distributors companies need to find creative ways to make their content stand out. While in the earliest of films, movies were the marketing, an audience also become more sophisticated viewers. They wanted stories, and they wanted stars. Many of the elements of cinema's earliest marketing companies are still with us today. Celebrities continues to be a powerful weapon in a film's marketing arsenal to this day. But as flashy as the star system is, in many ways, the cornerstone of the film marketing is the poster or one sheet. Whether they're organized around an iconic image from the film, or covered with the movie's most famous actors, these graphic design can be used in paint ads, transferred into billboards, or displayed outside theaters. The best poster represent a movie in a single, powerful image. Posters often include taglines as well, brief, memorable catchphrases that sums up the theme of the movie. Posters might also include quotes from the critics. Trailers or previews were another early development in the film marketing. The earliest trailers appeared at the end of serials, early shots that told longer story in weekly installment. Once feature film became norm, studios would mine a film for shots of its most famous actors, then they would pair these shots with title cards. Since 1970s, the films have also advertised on TV. The internet has revolutionized movie marketing in many ways. Not only because it's cheaper, but now they can target their material to specific audience. Generally speaking, marketing costs an additional quarter of the movie budget. By the way, these companies know about their target than anybody else. As the line between cinema and TV continues to blur, no discussion of film production would be complete without tackling the TV landscape and how TV production has come to look a lot like making movies. One of the best ways to categorize TV shows is to divide up scripted content and unscripted content. Now TV can also be broken down in terms of how it's delivered to the audience, which has a major impact in how the money is made and what shows make it onto the air. The four main kinds of contemporary TV networks are broadcast networks, basic cable, premium cable, and streaming services. Broadcast networks wants to reach as many eyeballs as possible by making their shows widely appealing. A season is traditionally a year's worth of episode, often 22 for broadcast dramas, and sitcoms are more likely to be 8 to 12 on cable. And if networks cram more episodes into each season, they can sell more cable blocks. Basic cable networks operate similarly, but don't have as much pressure to reach a massive audience. This includes all the channel you get with a standard package from your cable company. Premium cable networks abandon on-air ads altogether and rely on monthly fees paid by each viewing household for income. Streaming services that produce original content also rely on subscription service. Usually, the director of the pilot, the demo episode, helps set the look and feel of the series, and stays involved as a producer to make sure future episodes remain true to the original version. And let's finish this episode. I will always remember the time we got to share, and to meet you guys again. This was Carl, and you were watching Film Pro Final Cut. Share the video, like it, subscribe the channel, and keep watching Galactecis, a world of greatness.